Have you ever had one of those weeks where you give everything you have? You work longer hours, you sleep less, you sacrifice your free time, and then you look at the results and think, how is this possible? Because somehow, nothing really changed. Or worse, it feels like you moved backward. If that sounds familiar, there's a reason. And it's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's something more mechanical than personal. Because there's a sentence most people repeat like a mantra. It sounds motivating. It sounds responsible. But when you follow it blindly, it makes you spend more effort to buy the same outcome. The key is this. Working harder and moving forward are not the same thing, and we can prove it with numbers. Start with attention, not motivation, attention. Professor Gloria Mark has tracked how long people stay on a screen before switching, and one widely cited figure from her work is an average of 47 seconds. Now to the math. 1 hour has 600 seconds. If you switch every 47 seconds, that is roughly 76 switches per hour. Not 76 tasks finished. 76 reorientations. And every reorientation has a cost. Psychologists call it task switching cost. The American Psychological Association summarizes research showing that shifting between tasks can cost as much as 40% of productive time in some cases. If you work 8 hours, 40% is 3 hours and 12 minutes. Not lost to laziness. Lost to restarting, finding your place again, reloading context, rebuilding momentum. And that cost becomes real money the moment you attach a rate to your time. If your fully loaded hourly cost is $50 an hour, losing 3 hours and 12 minutes is about $160 a day. If it is $100 an hour, it is about $320 a day. That is not theory. That is arithmetic applied to a known mechanism. There's a second mechanism that makes this worse. It has a name too, attention residue. Sophie Leroy's research describes how part of your attention stays stuck on the previous task after you switch. And that leftover attention can reduce performance on the next task until you fully disengage. So even when you are working, you are not fully working. You are partially still somewhere else, which means you can honestly feel busy all day and still end up with surprisingly little that moves the needle. And the cost shows up in a place people rarely count. Error correction, rework. Tiny mistakes that force you to circle back. Let's put numbers on a common day. Say you do a 30-minute meeting with 6 people. That is not 30 minutes. That is 3 hours of collective time. At $60 an hour fully loaded, that is $180. At $100 an hour, that is $300. And that is before the restart cost afterward, when everyone tries to re-enter deep work with attention residue still hanging around. This is why working harder can feel like sprinting on a treadmill. More sweat, same distance. Now add one more named principle, Parkinson's law. See, Northcote Parkinson described it in a 1955 essay. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. That means if you give something a week, it will mysteriously take a week. If you give it an afternoon, it will often take an afternoon. Not because quality demanded it, because time allowed it. So you can add hours and call it commitment, while the task quietly grows to occupy them. More effort, more motion, not necessarily more progress. And there's a thinker who framed the deeper problem decades before we had smartphones. Herbert Simon wrote that in an information-rich world, what becomes scarce is the attention of the recipient, and that a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. That is the invisible tax behind modern hard work. It is not just the amount of work. It is the environment of constant inputs consuming the resource your work actually runs on, your attention. So the real difference is not moral. It is structural. Working hard is increasing output of effort. Working right is reducing the hidden taxes that dilute that effort. Task switching cost, attention residue, work expanding to fill time. When those are active, more effort mainly amplifies what you already have. If your direction is good, effort compounds. If your direction is noisy, effort mostly funds the noise. And that is why some people can do 10 hours a day and still feel behind. Not because they are broken, because the system they are working inside converts extra hours into friction. Quietly, predictably, measurably. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you don't want to miss what's coming next, hit the like button and subscribe. We post new videos every week, so turn on notifications and I'll see you in the next one.